Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror? And I mean, have you really looked? Maybe you were brushing your teeth this morning and you just caught the reflection. Do you realize you were watching 50 trillion cells working together, talking to each other, making one miracle of a human being? You are amazing. This morning we're going to talk about just why it is that your body is the most amazing organism on this whole planet. We're going to take a look at how the nervous system controls the body and what can interfere with it. And we will see how chiropractic can help us to maximize our health. So first of all, what is health? Well, a lot of people think that you're either sick or you're healthy. They think that it's just one or the other. But let's be really clear. Your health is not a case of just black or white. It's more like 50 shades of grey. And, I mean a spectrum of 50 shades of grey. So what we're talking about today is being the healthiest version of ourselves, being the brightest colour that we can be, where we are living at our maximum potential. So how does your body do all of this? Think about it this way. When your president has something to say to his people, one of the key things he does is sends out a video message addressing his nation over the internet. And then you guys tell him what you think back through social media and the internet. If we take a second to remember, the internet is this vast network of cables that can send and receive messages over the entire world almost instantaneously. You see, our bodies have their own version of this. And though we may look different on the outside, on the inside, we're all basically the same. We all have a human version of internet cables, which we call nerves. And our nerves are the way that our brain communicates with our body. But just like President Obama's message, there's a two-way street. You've got the Commander-in-Chief, our brain, sending messages down the internet cables, our nerves, and then the citizens, which are our cells, send their messages back, saying what they think. This is called the nervous system, and it controls everything in our bodies. But let me tell you, sometimes there can be interferences with these nerves and the messages that they carry. The other day, I was doing my weekly Skype session with my parents. Everything was going great, and then all of a sudden, the picture went blurry. The sound became bitsy and everything went out of sync. Skype was still working, but it was at less than 100%. So it wasn't its most healthy self. And I mean, isn't it so frustrating when this sort of thing happens? Because you can't have that effortless conversation. Everything feels like it's hard work. How are we meant to do that when we can't clearly talk to each other? Remember, we're talking about living at our potential. If there's interference, then we're not doing that. So what was causing this distorted communication? Well, I wasn't sure. But then in the background, I see my little sister walking up to the microwave, which was on. And with expert precision, with just the right amount of pressure, in just the right location, she reached out her finger and she turned it off. Gradually, the picture came back and Skype fixed itself. It was the microwave. I looked at my sister and I thought, there is a future chiropractor right there. Because she removed the cause of interference and allowed self-healing. Now, in our bodies, it's not a microwave that affects nerves and hinders the way that cells talk to each other. It's misalignments in your spine. Trauma, stress, falls, muscle imbalances can all lead to these frustrating, unclear conversations. Chiropractors detect misalignments in the spine that are causing nerve interference. And when these misalignments are present, they correct them, just like my sister did, with expert precision, with just the right amount of pressure in just the right location, to make sure we are living at our maximum potential. So tonight, when you're brushing your teeth and you're looking in the mirror, just stop for a moment and really appreciate that amazing job that your 50 trillion cells are doing for you. And just ask yourself, have I turned off the microwave? Am I living at my potential? And when is my next chiropractic appointment? Because you know those appointments can change lives. And I'd like to share with you a very personal story that I hope will show you just how profound and important these understandings that we've talked about today truly are. And also how important it is that we share what we learn. This is a story of a 14-year-old teenage boy who I used to know very well. He was enthusiastic, life-loving, but one day he was struck down. He was struck down not by some external force, but by his own stress. He couldn't go to school for 10 weeks. Every day he woke up with a stabbing migraine. The dizziness and the slipping away of his energy levels meant he spent most of his time in a darkened room, not truly living, but merely existing. After being admitted to hospital and having every test under the sun, the doctors told that little boy that there was nothing wrong, to go home and to come back in 6 months if he still had headaches. But you know, the interesting thing is those doctors were right. Because the spinal cord fluid they took from his spine was normal, the CT showed no brain tumor in his head, and the MRI showed that there was nothing seriously wrong. All they really discovered was a very minor issue with the spine that they believed wasn't worth worrying about. But what they didn't realize was though there were no fractures, though there were no tumors, though there were no lesions, what they didn't realize was the microwave was on. That little boy and his mum didn't realize either, and how would they when no one had ever told them? 7 years later, that little boy stands in front of you today because he believes, because I believe, everyone deserves the chance to hear the chiropractic message. For a good part of the last 7 years, I've thanked my chiropractor. I've said to her, "You've helped me change my life." But it's only recently I realized I was thanking the wrong person. It's not just my chiropractor I should thank. It's not even my mum who took me to see that chiropractor. It is that woman who had the courage to offer us a different way of thinking and open our minds to a world of new possibilities. But I will never get to thank that woman because I don't know her name. I don't even know what she looks like. And she will never know the profound way that she changed my life. She is my hero. And that is why I'm here today. Not to repay her, but to pay it forward to all those people out there who need our help. I don't want it to take 10 weeks in the dark or even 10 days. I believe this is a message that should be told from birth, not because of any pain or symptoms, but because we all deserve to live at our maximum potential. You see, just like that woman, every single one of you in this room has the power right now inside you to change someone's life forever. You can all be someone's hero. You just have to have the courage to share the chiropractic message with them. Whether you tell them what it truly means to look at yourself in the mirror, or how important it is to turn off the microwave, what matters is that you have given them a chance to listen, a chance to learn, and a chance to live. Thank you very much.